Welcome to my channel and welcome to another Coloring in Paradise by Fabiana Athanasiou. This time I selected page with anchor. When I looked at this page, I immediately imagined background in marine gray green color with a little bit of cobalt turquoise probably. It was quite difficult to find matching color among all my pencils. I definitely didn't want to do background with regular pencils, so I wanted something water soluble. And I realized that I have a couple of matching colors in my very rarely used set of Spectrum Noir Aqua Blend water soluble pencils. And I also have one distress crayon which I never tested before, but color was exactly what I wanted. But unfortunately, this coloring started almost from a disaster, because this media which I selected, they definitely wasn't very suitable for this paper. I was slightly disappointed in Distress Crayon. It felt like something similar to lipstick. I hoped that it would be as water-soluble as my Neocolor crayons, but no, I felt difficulty to dissolve it with water to get rid of the visible pencil strokes. Pigment was absorbed into paper quite quickly, and it definitely didn't want to blend with pigment of watercolor pencils. I'm also not a big fan of this set of pencils. Colors are very beautiful, quite unique, but how they behave on paper, especially on smooth paper without texture, well, it's far from perfect. Usually it's very difficult to dissolve them with water without leaving visible pencil strokes. Sometimes you can use them with some other pencils like graphitins or ink tans to add some highlights, but as one media by themselves, they don't provide very nice and bright background. So after I tested my selected media in left top corner, I realized that if I don't want to ruin the whole page, I need backup plan. So I decided that watercolors as my more convenient medium could be a lifesaver. Well, I had to select green background watercolor slightly more intense comparing to what I imagined to my head, but at that moment I didn't have much choice. And I also realized that more intense green can help me to mask some of the ugly hidden objects here. In the end, I selected one of my few Daniel Smith watercolors, Cascade Green, as a basic color for the background. It was able to mask all those pencil strokes and crayon strokes, and as additional color I selected Rosa Gallery Cobalt Turquoise. It's semi-opaque color, so it also was quite helpful for masking hidden objects. I do love to work on this paper with watercolors. Yes, you can't do big mixtures on this page, on this paper, but it allows you to apply multiple layers. Paper absorbs pigment and water very quickly, but in the same time, you can wait for a couple of minutes until first layer will be relatively dry and you can apply many new layers and surface of the paper won't be damaged. So you just need to adjust to the technique how to work on this paper. And with each new layer of watercolors, with each new glazing, I think that background color started to look more deep, more intense, so I was quite happy that I managed to save such a background. Yes, in some of the areas it still didn't look perfect, especially when I had to work about all those intricate designs of leaves and flowers. Sometimes it didn't look very accurate, but as usual, I work on top of the watercolor background with my pencils, so if I missed some of the areas, if color isn't intense enough, I can easily apply a layer of similar uh, pencils. I select usually pencils which are one shade darker, and it helps me to add depth and to correct small background mistakes. This time I selected a couple of shades from my Derwent Colorsofts pencils. Colorsofts are not bad on this paper. You can't expect them to layer a lot, but at least a couple of layers you will be able to put here, and they cover paper nicely. They usually works quite well on watercolor background also, so I selected grey green, pale mint, and from the same Spectrum Noir Aqua Blend set, I selected a very deep, slightly bluish, deep forest green pencil. I decided to color the whole page using a mix of Derwent Colorsofts and Sucolor pencils. Sucolor simply because I love how they behave on this paper, and Colorsofts because it's one of the few books where they work acceptable, and from time to time I need to use this set of pencils because I have them, and if I can use them on the paper I try to do it. They are very demanding to the paper quality, so if I can use them even on small area I am always happy, especially if I can use their yellow and brown colors which are quite nice in the set. So here I hope they will be quite helpful.